Hey guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. Today I have created a brand new book tag. I have created two tags in the past, one which was a Christmas related tag and the other which was more of a Halloweenish type of tag but could have been done throughout the whole of the year. And now I've created the Paxy Heart Tag. This has been going around in my brain for a while now. This whole tag is all about and inspired by the channel and person Pax Panic. And the whole reason why I wanted to do a whole tag video based around Pax is because I have, well, I would say I was actually going to say that I've watched all the videos, but not quite. There's a handful that I still need to watch. But regardless, I watch all the videos. I have been a massive supporter of her, and plus I'm a friend of hers as well. We communicate on email and all that type of stuff, and I consider her to be one of my really good friends. And throughout my journey, or throughout her journey rather, on here, I have become really good friends with her. I've got really close with her. I've got to know her as a person, and with that, it kind of planted the seed for the idea for me to do a whole video dedicated to basically her green heart, how she cares about everyone else and herself as a person. So when I was creating this tag, I wanted it to embody Pax Panic. And for those of you who have no idea who Pax is, she is a horror booktuber who doesn't care what anyone else thinks about her or the books that she reads. And she's very caring and very positive. She's extremely positive. And of course, I'll have a link down below to her channel down in the description. And of course, like, comment, subscribe on her channel. And yeah, she's just generally an awesome person. I remember when I first saw Pax's channel, it was when I found her doing the video on the Friday the 13th book tag, which I'll have a thumbnail up here, and I didn't know what to make of her. I mean, this was the first video I actually watched of her, and the thumbnail looked really fun and quirky. Not green. I'm literally disappointed, Pax. But when I saw it, I thought, okay, she actually looks like a fun person, and I like the thumbnail. Even though, I know she will be able to admit this as well. It's not one of her best thumbnails, but hey, it's her first video, so yeah, she was still learning. But I clicked on it, loved it, and I've been supporting her ever since. So I've created a list of 8 prompts, which I feel absolutely embodies Pax Panic. And I'll have these listed down below, so in case you want to do it, please feel free. So the first prompt is, no shame. What's an extreme horror book you're proud to own? Now for me, this is Chainsaw Terror by Nick Blake, aka Sean Hudson. This is an extremely rare book to find on eBay or online in general. It took me months and months of searching, well, not daily, but more or less, and it finally came up, and I was so thrilled to get it and find it. I bought it and I read it, and it's fantastic, and it's extreme horror. It's not for the faint of heart. It does include incest and murder, obviously, and blood, but I enjoyed it, and it's one I'm proud to own. And in fact, I did find a copy for a friend, so hopefully she finds some enjoyment out of it when she gets it. Prompt 2. Green Love. Name a strange and unusual channel you enjoy watching who strives to be different. I couldn't find or think about anyone that fit this prompt better than Bad is Rad 2. She is the definition of a unconventional booktuber who tries to do what we do, book reviews, wrap-ups, book hauls, all that stuff, but her editing is so off the wall and insane, and she wears all these, you know, masks, and she dresses up, and she has all these effects in the background and music, and it's all arty-farty because that's what it is. She is a artist at heart, and she kind of incorporates that into her channel. And yeah, she's just really different, and yeah, she's just really, really, really special to watch, in my opinion. So if you haven't watched her channel, please go over and click on her videos. They are so creative. Prompt 3, the tag owl. What's the tag you felt you didn't do a good job with? Now, I have something here that I was going to say, because I had to look at all the tags I've done, but I'm going to change my answer to the booktube newbie tag. Now, when I was doing my channel and when I started it, I didn't know that that was a thing. In fact, I did mention it in my video, and this was when I was filming differently. I wasn't filming like this. I didn't have a tripod. Basically, I was just holding my phone, and it was like filming my bed. It wasn't even filming my face. I was just like filming the books on my bed and all that stuff, and talking over it, because that my start of my channel, that's how I film my videos. And the reason why I felt that I didn't do a good job with it is because my channel is like this now, where I show my face and I speak in front of the camera, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And yeah, I would have loved just to go back in time and do it and film it like this, because this is how I see my channel now, not just filming my bed or books on my bed while holding my phone. And also I feel that I could have answered the questions better, but hey, it's the first prompt that I did and many of you guys did, so I think we're allowed to have that video to be a bit crappy and amateur, or whatever you want to, or whatever term you want to use for it. But if I could go back in time and redo it, then I would. Prompt 4, the Dead Poets Society. Who's your favourite poet? That's easy, guys. Edgar Allan Poe. I read a collection of all of his poems, which I found on eBay. I thought, okay, why not? I might as well get into this author and read his poems, because that's what he's, well, one of the things that he's most popular for. And I read them, and even though I had no idea what most of them were about, I did know that he inserted himself and his personality into many of the poems, and in that sense I felt that I got to know Edgar as a person, but I mean more emotionally than obviously physically. And I was shocked by the fact that I gave that book a 5 stars. I gave a poetry book 5 stars, and that's something that I'd never ever do. I'm not saying that Edgar Allan Poe is the best poet ever. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is he resonated so much with me. That's a deep thinker and contemplates certain aspects of life on a daily basis. And of course, I'm a massive romantic at heart, and I felt that that's what Edgar was, even though it was with his cousin, which was kind of weird, or very weird. Prompt 5, Mrs. Horse. Who's your favourite sidekick or companion in a horror story? Now, I want to specify this, guys. I want to make it clear, guys, that this is not about a main character. This is about someone that is either a side character or a main side character. This is not your leading man or lady. So who I'm going to say is the trash can man in Stephen King's The Stand. And yes, I do see that as kind of a horror story, not completely a horror story, but it has horror elements throughout, because it's about a virus and loads of people die at the beginning of the book, which I don't think is a spoiler. Everyone knows that when they go in. But Trash Can Man is a tragic story about a boy or a man that is rejected by life and his peers and society for being different. He likes to keep to himself a lot. He likes to start fires. He likes to be inquisitive. And yes, he is a bit, well, not a bit, he is very weird and strange. And as a result, he is ostracized by people that are his own age when he was a young boy. And we do find out about his past. And in the story of The Stand, he's a fully grown man, and he becomes obsessed with the main villain of the story, which is Randall Flagg. And throughout the story, he's obsessed with Randall Flagg, and he worships him, and he is completely focused on him. There's something that he's drawn towards. And even though he doesn't have a massive part in the story, he is one of the characters which I am more drawn towards, to the evil side of the book, because the book is split up into good versus evil when it really comes down to explaining what The Stand is all about. But Trash is such a great and interesting character. I could have done with a lot more of his character. And yeah, when I reread the book, I cannot wait to read these sections. So that's how I choose. Now, the next prompt I have to explain is that at the beginning of Pax's channel, she was talking about a book called The Burning Girls. And I'm not sure whether this was her first ever book review. This was when she was doing vlogs for the book, and then she did the review. Then she did the review for it. She's kind of got rid of that now and went straight to talking about the book. But this was one of the books, or first books, that she talked about. So prompt 6, The Burning Girls. What's the first novel you were recommended by a booktuber? And obviously, because I've called this prompt The Burning Girls, I'm going to say The Burning Girls. I have got a copy of it, which I still need to read. I'm going to be getting on that really soon, or as soon as I can. And this is by CJ Tutor. I'm not sure what I'm going to make of it, but I got it purely because of Pax's video. Although I did get the push, which she's always going on about, or occasionally anyway, and I had to DNF it because it just wasn't for me. But The Burning Girls was the first book that I was recommended by a fellow booktuber. Prompt 7, Different is Good. What's a book you have enjoyed that's outside of the genres you usually read? I'm going to say Catcher in the Rye. I was recommended this by Marissa Bailey, and she did a whole video on it, and she said, oh, you should read it, it's really, really good. So I found it really, really cheap on eBay, and I knew about the kind of link that it has with one of the deaths of the members of the Beatles. Can't remember which one. I'm sure someone's going to comment that as well. But I bought it, I read it, and I really enjoyed it. It was really, really good. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, about a unusual male character that is kicked out of his school, and he has to try to bide his time until he goes back home, because he's got to wait, because if he goes straight back home, his parents are going to kick his ass and it's going to be a massive argument. So he wants to have that kind of time for them to simmer down and get used to him getting kicked out again. And he goes on all these, I wouldn't say adventures, but he goes on all these events that happen. And it's more of a slow, I wouldn't say more of a slow burn, but it's a slow read. And it's a book that is very calming, and I liked it. I mean, I know the main character of the book is unliked by a lot of people, but I didn't mind it. It was really good. And despite that, this was kind of attached to a murder of a famous person. It isn't gory or bloody or violent or anything like that. As far as I can remember, because I haven't delved into it that deep. But as far as I can remember, the main character of the book calls people fakers if they are pretending to fit in, if they're trying to change their personality of or the way that they think or do things to fit into society or a group within society so they can feel accepted. The main character calls them people fakers. So as far as I can tell, that is what the man who murdered one of the members of the Beatles thought about that person. But anyway, that book, Catcher in the Rye, was excellent. And if you can find a copy, it's really short, so give it a try. And the last prompt, prompt 8, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Name 3 new booktubers who you find entertaining. Cliff's Dark Gems and C. Chris Reed. Hey guys, I mispronounced one of the channels for this prompt, and the one that I've chosen is author J. Creighton Smith. All these booktubers I find enjoyment out of in some shape or form. Creighton Smith kind of talks about like small unknown books and authors, which is really cool. You should all read something that's not by a mainstream person. Cliff Dark Gems talks about horror books mostly on his channel. I still need to watch a good amount of his stuff, but I find them extremely enjoyable and entertaining to watch. And C. Chris Reed, she is a horror booktuber, and she does loads of unboxings and just general talks about horror. And they are all new. When I mean new booktubers, I mean ones that are a year and under that they've had their channel, not older than a year. And they could be about any book or genre. That doesn't have to be just horror. It can be fantasy or romance or whoever you find personally entertaining to watch. Doesn't have to be just horror. And finally, tag some people. I didn't know who to tag because when I do these tags, I tag a bunch of people and only about a third of them actually do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But in true tradition of Pax Panic, I'm gonna say no, because I do not know who to tag for this. If you want to do this tag that I created, please feel free. I'll have all the questions, or the prompts rather, listed down below. So if you want to do it, consider yourself tagged. So that has been my Paxy Heart Tag. Hopefully you have found some enjoyment out of this. I made up these questions a couple of days ago when it was a kind of a slow day at work, and I wanted it to be fun, unusual, and well, strange and unusual, like Pax. And I wanted to express about how she cares about people and has no real shame about what she reads and oozes positivity. So yeah, please let me know if you're going to do this tag. Let me know what you thought about it. And yeah, with all that out of the way, I'll see you on my next one.